Em
and Lex,
two imperfect six-figure business coaches, co-founders, and friends who decided to combine our superpowers to bring to market something we wish we had when we entered the world of coaching.
a real, non-BS, intimate, and fun community built with integrity, intention, and a few glasses of wine.
In this podcast, we get real.
Real about life,
Business,
relationships,
and what it really takes to find your version of success in the world of coaching. Are you ready, Lex?
I'm set, Em.
Let's coach. Hey, Lex, welcome back from vacation.
You should say welcome back from the dead, because that's what I look like right now. I'm really, guys, it's catching up to me. I'm in a season of travel. I'm in a season of busy. I got back at 2 a.m. on Saturday. We're recording this on a Monday from multiple weeks of traveling. And while Emily, I'm sure you could hang, my body's just like waving a little flag, like help. And I have another trip coming up on Wednesday, so I'm not slowing down.
Are you like trying to take my place? Are you trying to do an Emily?
Be you. I'm trying to be you. And I know you. So I did Nashville, Hawaii. Now I have Palm Springs, and then I'm doing Bend. But I know you have a couple trips coming up too.
I was just in Scottsdale last week, which was gorgeous. I totally am on board of Arizona in the like not hot season. And I feel you in the like depletion. And then I'm going to Chicago on Wednesday. And then on Friday morning, I'm going from Chicago to Mexico to surprise my mom. It's her 70th birthday. And my sister and I are taking her to Punta Mita. So like, that's kind of my light at the end of the tunnel, because I just want some nice, gentle lady man to come around and be like, hi, I would like to take your order. Would you like a spicy margarita or a spicy herb margarita? And I'd say, yes, please, to both.
I did not realize it was a surprise.
Well, she knows she's going somewhere, and my sister's boyfriend spilled the beans and said Mexico. I've been trying to throw her off the scent and tell her we're going to Alaska. I'm like, we got to make sure we got your salmon waders ready. We're gonna go fishing. So she knows she's going to Mexico. She doesn't know where in Mexico, and she doesn't know how to listen to a podcast. So I'm not worried about this giving it away.
She has the best daughters in the entire world.
In her defense, though, we used her entire Amex collection of points to buy this.
And you have the best mother in the world. So it's a mutually beneficial relationship.
It's mutually beneficial. But Lex, I feel like the season of busy is so real. And speaking of busy, our assistant flagged to us that this is our 50th episode.
Wild. 50. For those of you who have been here from the beginning, I'm sorry, / God bless you. For those of you that are new, happy 50 episodes of binging. 50 episodes.
Do you want to go back and just remind people like how we started and why we started this podcast?
I actually have a very vivid memory of the inception of this podcast. And I'm curious if your memory is different, but I was driving back from a pediatrician appointment with my daughter in the car, and I sent you a voice note about, I'm like, I don't really want to, but I feel like we need to, and we should launch a podcast. And I like have a vivid memory of sending that voice note. And then I don't remember what you said. I just have like, I don't know. Isn't it weird how the brain will like only remember select things? So I don't remember why I thought that initially. Well, I probably thought about it strategically, but anyways, what's your memory of when we started?
I remember receiving that. I can't recall if it was on Slack or if you voice noted Slack or on text message, but I remember being like, oh yeah, let's do this. And this is how fast we move sometimes, y'all. I think we launched the next day. Like, I literally think we recorded it the next day and we're like, what are we going to call it? We're like, how about Ready Set Coach, the podcast? Wild. Yeah. And then we're like, well, what do we talk about? And Lex and we both have such structured podcasts. So again, if you are still loving our voices and want more of them, I have the 6th Degree with Emily Merrell, where I interview people and find out what makes them tick. And Lex has Pitchin' and Sippin', where she just breaks down everything behind the PR. I don't know. What's your
The world of PR and journalism. I interview different editors, journalists, PR pros, all things PR and media and marketing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yep.
I was going there. Anywho, the point being is like we have such structured podcasts on the other end. So it's been such a fun outlet not to speak for both of us, but I'm going to. It's been such a fun outlet just to have the banter and to have each other to play off of, and also to have a platform to be able to share real-time learnings from our cohort and be able to apply them, to be able to answer questions and expand on them. While both of our other podcasts, I don't know about you, Lex, but like I record 6 months out, 7 months out at a time. So this is dropping like in real time.
So why I begrudgingly sent that voice note was I was thinking of the workload that it takes, to your point, to put together Pitchin' and Sippin', and it's a lot more methodical and planned. To your point, everything you just said, basically co-signing, where yes, this podcast, guys, we Slack each other. We're like, all right, what should we talk about today? And to our defense, we try to be thoughtful. We do look up SEO. We do ask our cohort. We do get listener requests at this point, since we're 50 episodes deep.
Mm-hmm.
But it is really like we're recording this and you guys are going to hear this the same week. And so it's fun. It's so much less work. And it has been so amazing for our brand and business in so many different ways. So it's proved to me that a podcast can be effective in different ways and have different levels of workloads.
Yeah. And I think, well, we weren't going to talk about this. This might be what we're talking about, but I think we get a lot of our clients will ask us or have ambitions to start a podcast. And we're like, whoa, maybe hold off on starting a podcast. Just at least understand the workload that, like to Lexie's point, what goes into things. But at the same time, like we don't have a listenership of like the millions or whatnot, but it has been, if you're listening to this, you either probably know us, we are probably connected in some capacity. Hopefully, if we're not connected, you feel comfortable reaching out to us and knowing that there's humans on the other end that want to connect with you and want to engage. So I think if you are considering starting a podcast, how can you set it up where it's an open dialogue for you to connect with your ideal clients, or to provide more value to people who are curious and interested in the topic that you are serving?
Well, for coaches specifically, coaching is such an intimate container. And so a podcast is a really unique, whether you do just audio or a video podcast, like this has become, it didn't start as a video podcast. It's a really natural way to nurture an audience, and to Em's point, to get them to know each other. I will say though, workload wise, Emily and I have Kaylee, who is our producer and editor extraordinaire. Emily and I do not edit this. We do not write the show note. Like she makes the graphics. So I don't want to discredit that there is a lot of work that goes into getting the delivery of the final product. So if you have funds that you want to invest in getting a podcast and you want to have it be more casual and off the cusp, like Em and I do, then it doesn't need to be the hugest time suck. But I just don't want to pretend like that workload isn't existing, because it's her workload, not ours.
Thanks, Kaylee. We're paying you for this though. Thank you.
We'll both have coughing attack.
I do.
She flagged it with us, and it kind of makes us, we just wanted to do an episode of reflecting. And I think beyond reflecting on this show, something we wanted to reflect upon as well is a little bit about our journey with Ready Set Coach, and the journey of this program, and the journey of the women we've interacted with, and talk to you a little bit about who are the women and what are the qualities we've seen that have enabled them to excel in Ready Set Coach. And then 2, if you've made a similar investment or a different investment in yourself, how can you make the most out of a coaching investment? There's my transition. Da-da-da.
Beautiful. No puns involved or anything.
Smooth sailing over here, guys.
And the cough Lex, I ran for a little bit in Scottsdale and it was awesome. And then I ran today in, where do I live? Denver. And it was like, holy effing altitude. Like you can That's literally my lung on fire right there, the cough that you hear.
Good for
And
you for running. I'm off the bandwagon right now.
I'm very off the bandwagon. And it was a mile. I was like, let's make it to like 11-minute mile. I'm running slower than I ran as a chubby 10-year-old. So anywho, I digress. It's fine. We're getting there. We had babies.
Dying. Okay. So let's like talk back. This is also an episode where if you're new here, we want to get you up to speed on what Ready Set Coach is. So Ready Set Coach started similar to what it looks like today, but it's evolved. So when the first iteration of Ready Set Coach looks a bit different than it is today. So today, Ready Set Coach is for those looking to add a coaching revenue stream to their life. This can be in the form of a side hustle. This can be you already have a business and you just want to diversify the income streams. It can be your consultant, for example, and you want to add a coaching arm. Or to be honest, if you're a new coach and it just hasn't hit yet, we're also for you.
Yeah. And I think I want to share with you guys. So just a little history of Ready Set Coach. We started in 2020, and Lexie and I probably spent like a good majority of our Christmas break ideating this problem, this desire to create something of group. And both of us had wanted to create group, and we'd had clients that had been shopping between both of us and wanted to choose between both of us, when really we saw this as an opportunity to come together and to create something in tandem. And we've reiterated this story before, but both of us have our own businesses, and I never wanted a co-founder for 6 Degrees Society. And I know Lex, you didn't want a co-founder for the PR Bar Inc. So it was an opportunity for us to create a completely brand new blank slate that was ours to be birthed together. So Ready Set Coach, we looked at problems, and we thought about problems that we really wanted to solve, but we didn't have bandwidth to solve within our own businesses. And it was both of us could agree on the shared journey, our own unique journey into becoming coaches was challenging. We hired coaches. We both hired individual coaches and kind of band-aided together what we have now through a lot of trial, a lot of error. And we're like, wouldn't that be so cool if we could hand deliver all the things that we had learned without making all the costly mistakes on the way? And that's where Ready Set Coach really came to take shape. And Lex came up with a beautiful name.
Which don't ask me where that came from, but and there is a whole episode when we reflect back on the past 50 episodes that goes a lot more into that story in detail, and Emily and I's story. So feel free. I think that's one of the first episodes.
Probably
back. Yeah. So that was kind of why. And one of the things too that we found is challenging, or a lack thereof that we saw on the market, was there was a ton of group business programs that invited general categories, like maybe they said creatives, or maybe it said, insert like a more general, it could be a small business owner or a female business owner, but there wasn't something that just spoke to the coach. And this business model, whether you're doing it as a side hustle or a revenue stream or full-time, it's very specific. There's a very specific way to grow, to create, to grow, and to maneuver the challenges that come in having a coaching revenue stream or business.
Yeah, I completely agree. And so in reflecting, so we ideated in 2020, 2021, July, we launched our first cohort, and we have had so many extraordinary women going through our program. And so you can actually take a moment. If you're by a computer, you can check out our coach directory, which we need to update, Lex. Fun to do for us.
We need to update that. Like go to a different page on the website.
Kelly, if you're listening in your free time. No, but we have these incredible women. And what I love about what we do in our program is we're servicing women who have all of these different types of coaching expertise. So we are not teaching you how to coach. We are not teaching you how to be a self-discovery and well-being coach or a life coach or a design coach. That is your expertise. We're supporting you on the business side of the coaching world. So that means getting your systems in place, getting your sales page in place, getting yourself in place, because there's so many to-dos. Sometimes you don't know which to do first.
It's business school for coaches, really. It is. And like specific, like your master's in business for coaches. We should use that line more.
I was about to say that new tagline.
New tagline, question mark, in real time. I use that all the time when we talk.
But
Yeah. So
afterwards,
guys, hold us accountable. Message us if you don't see our.
Lex, how can people find out how to work with us?
Super simple. Go to readysetcoachprogram.com, link in show notes.
That first cohort we sold out, which was really, really cool. If you have been in the game a while, you will know it is not an easy feat to sell something out that's new. Right now, we are in our 4th cohort and we are actively enrolling in our 5th. We already have women who have signed up. Depending on when you're listening to this, if you're listening to us in real time and you want to join the upcoming cohort, feel free to reach out and we can tell you if there's new spots or answer any questions for you. But what the program looks like today, because like I said, iteration 1 looks different. Today, Emily, let's start there. What does the program high level look like today? What do we do? What do we offer?
Yeah, so today we support you both through one-on-one coaching. So each individual who's a part of this program, even at our base tier, gets one-on-one support from Lex and myself. That means they get a one-on-one hour call with me, one-on-one hour call with Lex. And then they also get modules that are dropped bi-weekly and accountability buddies that are dropped bi-weekly. And then the weeks that we're meeting, we do live group 80-minute group coaching sessions. So we tackle everything from money, mindset, and management of your business and messaging of the business that you are communicating out to the world.
Em already touched on some of the things we talk about, but again, we're going from foundational basic levels of who are your people, no, like really who are your people, and niching down for coaching specifically, talking about psychographics and demographics, to creating an offer or refining your offer if you already have one, to pricing, to systems, to market research, to marketing, to sales, to thought leadership, to PR. If you know my background, I'm deep in PR. Emily has a deep background in community and events. So you get access to us in our networks as experts, and you get to be a part of a really intimate, curated group and community of other coaches. And one of the coolest things I think that has come from this program that I never foresaw when we ideated it was they hire each other.
Yeah.
They're sitting in a group where they have clients right next to them.
Totally. And they're collaborating with one another. I see them going live on Instagram all the time, or having each other on podcasts, or posting about one another's businesses on LinkedIn. So it's kind of like getting these built-in marketing ambassadors and machines as you're establishing your coaching business. And Lex, I think one of the things too, I'd like to call us, and maybe we use this as marketing material as well, is we're kind of like your naggy moms too, is we hold you accountable, and we set up the work in which you need to be done, and we help you get to where you were dreaming to be. So you can buy a course and you can spend all the money on a course, but if you don't have someone that's saying like, where are you? Why aren't you at today's session? It's hard to actually do the work of the course. So in addition to like helping keep you accountable and on track of the business of your dreams, I think one of the things too is we help check some of the ambitions that people have. And that sounds really negative, but I mean it in a positive way, where we'll have individuals who are like, I want to make $500,000 by the end of this year, and I want to work and have 12 clients a day. And we're like, that's awesome. We love that. We support that dream. But you also chose this route because you want to spend more time horseback riding, or you want to spend more time with your kids, or want to spend more time bucket. And pulling back the lens of avoiding the burnout. Lex is queen, has a firsthand experience of like being carried out of her job from burnout. I have an experience of like crying myself to sleep from burnout. Like we all have burnout. So we're trying to help you build and grow and establish your brand in a pace that feels realistic, while also setting those pricing and revenue goals that seem achievable.
Yeah, and actually I came 5 minutes late to this podcast recording today because I was on a one-on-one call with a couple women from our cohort. They're going through as a duo, co-founders today. And to that point, we just talked a lot about PR, and they felt very, very overwhelmed. So prior to us signing off, I said, how can we break this down into a step-by-step process of how to begin? How can this feel less overwhelming? Let's start with plan A. These are the 3 to 5 things you can do now, and then we can always work up to the longer term things. So we're here to make this work for you. We're not going to shove one way is the right way down your throat.
Yeah.
We're here to support you as a coach and as a business owner, and have you create this business in a way that supports you. We're huge fans of our program. You can go to our website, readysetcoachprogram.com, to learn more. Highly encourage you to check it out if you're interested in launching or growing that coaching arm of your business. The other thing I did want to chat on before we sign off is Emily and I, now going into our 5th cohort, have started to see commonalities on the women who do really, really well and see great results. Our program is not free. We put a price tag on it, and we put a price tag that we feel is fair. We have tiered pricing dependent on where you sign up, like the package you select, and it starts at $4,500. Okay. So that the reason we do that, besides us knowing it's worth it, is it has you put some skin in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And putting some skin in the game, I think from the get-go, already has you showing up more. So step 1, kind of the hurdle, like the first hurdle that we need for our coaches that do well, is to commit to putting their skin in the game. Second, the thing that we see is the women who show up consistently and trust the process and do the work, and they stay with it, see results. I know that sounds so simple, but you would be so surprised how many people don't take advantage of the container. So that's something I've noticed. Emily, what about you?
I think so one of the things I failed to mention too is we offer office hours. So biweekly office hours, the weeks that we're not meeting live. Lex and I both offer an office hour where we show up on Slack and we support the community of individuals. And the people that are there for every office hours, like kind of using and abusing us, are the ones that seem to go that much further too. They're like constantly working and iterating and innovating within their business, and they're squeezing every opportunity they have. So they're showing up to 6 Degrees events, which is something that they get complimentary as members of the cohort. They're taking advantage of any other freebies that we're offering in terms of being a part of the cohort. Just like showing up, I think, is in being open-minded and showing up as a beginner's mindset, even if they might know the things or have done the things in the past, going through the process on our terms.
Yeah, I think how this is transferable to any coaching investment that you make is make sure you understand all the nuts and bolts and features and opportunities that this container is giving you. If they give you homework, do the homework. If there are optional office hours, go to office hours, right? Also, typically the size of the investment can sometimes be conducive to how much you get in return. There's a reason a $97 course is a $97 course, right? So when I said the number 4,500, that feels big to you. There's a reason it's priced that way. That means your results are big too, if you show up and you take advantage of what we've created. So for whatever you've invested in currently or you're going to invest in, make sure you really hold yourself accountable to using what you paid for, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So tis the season of dusting off all those courses, dusting off all of those investments, especially the ones that were self-paced, which you can be like, hey, yeah, I'm going to do over my summer vacation, or I'm going to do X, Y, and Z time. Carve out, we've talked about this before, but carve out the time to actually accomplish those things. And if for whatever reason you're like, oh, I can't invest in a live course, or I can't invest in X, Y, and Z until I accomplish X, Y, and Z, then accomplish it. So you can then grant yourself that permission to move forward and really get the accountability you deserve.
Yep. So that's kind of the theme that we wanted to bring to this episode, which was a hodgepodge of reflections. You know, we started this thing that we're doing, the podcast, the business, imperfectly, but it has grown into something so beautiful because we've committed to it and we've showed up time and time again. And we're going to continue to show up time and time again. So whether it be a course or a podcast you've been wanting to start, just commit. Just, that's not a word.
Just commit.
Just.
Yeah.
And commit to the long haul. And you guys.
Well, I'm going to double homework it too. Lex, I think this was such a nice chance for us too, to reflect on what we've created. We've had over 40 something women come, or high 40s of women come through our program in some capacity, and just giving ourselves a pat on the back, where it was just let's see if this thing sticks. Like, I don't know if this is legit or not. And then here we are, 5 cohorts and 2 adult babies later, and a podcast. So just remember to give yourself a little opportunity to reflect on all the things that you've accomplished, because so often we can look forward at what we need to accomplish and forget to just thank the past version of ourselves for getting the ball going.
To just toot our own horns. And that is, we're doing all this with other businesses. I was just in Hawaii. You're going to Mexico.
Yeah.
I'm gonna high five us for walking the walk. Boom.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. Yeah.
So a little self-love, do it yourself.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening to us for 50 episodes. If you haven't, bonus homework, go listen to our 50 episodes. And
bonus episode, or bonus. Give us a review if you haven't, if you're like a silent listener and haven't reviewed us. We love getting your reviews popping up, and it's like such a beautiful surprise and delight. And we so appreciate you as our audience.
So thank you guys so much for listening. And cheers to many more episodes to come on the Ready Set Coach podcast.
Oh man. If you're enjoying the Ready Set Coach podcast, please leave a review wherever you are listening. For more information about Ready Set Coach, visit readysetcoachprogram.com.